Good morning, friends. This video is very relevant for all of us. Friends, this is a very important video, and that I'm recording, keeping in view the positivity in life. Friends, there's no denying the fact that positive approach in life keeps us going and it really makes us feel confident in our work. See, we should never give up in difficult situations. There are innumerable stories in Mahabharata, in Ramayana, in many other, epics that teach us that we should always have patience, perseverance, and willpower in difficult situation. I'm relating it to a story that is prescribed in class 9 language and literature, the last leaf. There are two artists. They are living in the same room, the same flat, Sue and John C. John C is suffering from pneumonia and she is in bed. The doctor comes every day and treats her, gives medicine, but she's not improving. The reason is that she has given up the hope and she has assumed that the moment the last leaf on the creeper falls in front of her window, she will die. See how, it is how bad it is to have negativity in mind. She has assumed that she's not going to live, and that has really made her sick. She's not suffering much from the disease, she's suffering more from her presumptions and her negativity that has crept in her mind. And that is the reason why it is very important that mentors, teachers, parents should always inculcate and instill a sense of positivity in every approach of the child. And that is our responsibility. We must encourage the child even in a very difficult situation, because nowadays we see that most of the students are suffering from anxiety, stress. So there is a mental issue rather than physical issue. Physically they are fit, but mentally they are sick. So keeping in view the growing, issues, health issues, but particularly the mental illness that the youth are suffering, we have to always keep an eye on their, psychological and mental growth. We have to always examine whether they are having any sort of negativity. We have to remove that negativity by encouraging them, by motivating them, by making them believe in life, because life is very precious. So the same thing happens in the story with Sue and John C. John C is not improving despite all the efforts, all the medicine being given by the doctor. She is in bed and she's always looking at the last leaf that is on the creeper in front of her window. And she's thinking that the moment the last leaf falls, she would die. Despite all the convincing and all the persuasion of her friend Shiv, she's not going to have that. But you know, one day Baharman, the elderly artist, came to know about Johnson's condition. He decided to create a similar leaf, plastic leaf, and stick it to the creeper. And that was beautifully made. That was the masterpiece. And he made it and he stuck it. Even in the rain, a stormy weather, when there was always risk for him, it was very unfavorable condition. It was a stormy day and it was raining heavily. In that rain, in the night, he went and he had created a similar leaf, a beautiful masterpiece, and he stuck it to the creeper. When John C got up in the morning, she saw that the last leaf had not fallen. She now changes her mind. She thinks positively that now she is not going to die, she will survive, and she recovers. But Baharman, who really took the risk, actually suffered from pneumonia and he died. So he sacrificed his life for saving John's life. So what the story actually teaches, this story, the last leaf teaches us that even in the difficult situation, it is important to have faith in life. We should never give up. It also teaches us a great lesson that when nothing is left in anybody's life, there is always a hope that you can have something out of that, and you should always extract a positivity. The inspiration always goes on a long way and helps any child or any person recover from any sort of mental anxiety and depression. The depression that any child suffers may be due to academic performance, maybe due to poor achievement. It doesn't matter. The child must be encouraged, motivated, and made to believe in himself or herself. So the story, the last leaf, teaches us that we should never give up in difficult circumstances. Had the friend Sue not been alert enough, vigilant enough, had she not been encouraging to John C, had she not taken care of her friend, John C would not have survived. So it is also an important fact that everyone in the society has a responsibility towards one another. We should not think that only our life is important. It is important to save every individual's life and every individual's mind. That is very important. Often we find that children like Sue and John C, there are innumerable problems that they are encountering in day-to-day life. Some of them are still having a stress of exam, a stress of career, stress of parental health. There are different types of the life. Modern life has become stressful, and so such lessons are inspiration for everyone, that we should fight against difficulties. We should not give up. See, giving up is not a solution to any problem. If you really understand that life is very precious, you have to keep going despite all difficulties. You will always have a way to come out of the difficulties and do something. Friends, all great people, they have faced innumerable difficulties, innumerable challenges. Actually, challenges are a kind of opportunity to prove your worth. Suppose a child may not have very good performance in an exam. Now he has a challenge to prove himself or herself in the next exam. She will take up it in a positive manner. Well, I will prove myself right in bringing change in my performance, and see how he starts working, and in the next she makes it true by performing excellent. So excellence in life depends on your approach. If your approach in life is positive, if your approach in life is realistic, and if your approach in life is inspired by great people, you are always going to do miracles in life. So there's a need to read the biography of great people. Children must be inspired to read certain sort of stories by O. Henry and other good writers. There are some stories which are very inspiring, and they bring a change in your attitude, they bring a change in your behavior. Behavior deformities have come up in the life of the youth. They are suffering from behavior ailments rather than physical ailments. They often have wrong habits, wrong notions, no wrong thoughts in mind. We see the different, I mean, accidents taking place with the youth. The youth are being inspired by, not inspired, they are rather being affected by the certain demerits, like the addiction to social media, the false assumption, the false identity they have just acquired by watching the video of some of the crazy youth. So the parents and the teacher have to be very meticulous in such behavioral deformities is a challenge for all the mentors and educators. We have to be very, very vigilant, observe all the 40 students' behavior day to day, and have to find out what is wrong with the child. If the child is having a wrong presumption in mind that I'm not going to improve, I'm not going to improve my academics, or I'm not going to change my behavior, that is very dangerous, not only for the child, also for the institution. Because if one child is mentally sick, it becomes an example for other children. They are affected by the behavioral deformities. So we have to work sometimes as a psychologist in the classroom, outside the classroom. The parents have to be very, very meticulous, very, very observant, very, very vigilant about the changing behavior of the child, and they have to notice in day-to-day life what actually wrong they have. Sometimes they are very adamant, they're not going to change their mind, even if consistently the parents are saying that, look, you have to get up early in the morning, you have to change your habits, don't sleep too late, or don't be always late for your work, try to do the work in time. The child is adamant, never listens to the parent. So this behavioral deformities really has become a thing for discussion and concern for every one of us. And as a responsible member of the society, as a responsible member of the nation, we have to have different type of interactions with the children, multi and tasking activities to change their mind from negativity to positivity, and encourage them to come right on the way and do productive things, do creative things, rather than believing in something superstitious or something worthless. Some ideas crept in their mind might cripple their mind. They may be badly affected by such thoughts and ideas. So we have to remove, we have to make the child discard those worthless ideas and bring out certain flashing, vibrant, and productive ideas in the mind, so that their life can be shaped and they can be made to do something creative and useful for the society. And that is what I wanted to emphasize. Thank you, friends. Have a nice morning.